Welcome back to Hench and Saunters. As usual, it's been a long time since the last video, and considering James Gunn has just announced the first chapter or first phase or whatever they want to dub it as of his connected DC universe, it seems fitting to put something out there and kind of discuss the stuff that I'm looking forward to seeing. You can obviously see the full announcement video. I'll put a link somewhere on this video so you can go and check that out. A lot was announced, a lot was discussed. There's a number of TV shows, of cartoons, and of course films that are all coming out, and the idea being that they're all going to be connected in a way that hasn't really been done before. So James Gunn discusses some of the leftovers from the Snyderverse or the DC Extended Universe. Some of those will still fit into the wider DC universe, or at least for the time being. Initially, I think we all thought that it was going to be kind of pointless going to see any of these projects because they don't really serve any purpose to a wider story, but evidently there's going to be a disconnect. There's going to be the DC universe where everything's connected, and then there's going to be the DC Elseworld stuff, so that's where Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2 is going to live. The Flash is going to be used, as we all predicted, to reboot this entire universe. Whether that means Ezra Miller's Flash is going to continue to be a part of the DC universe moving forward, it's still quite up in the air. And with all of those projects that are going to kind of close out the DC Extended Universe, that's when James Gunn is going to reintroduce these characters and reboot the franchise completely. The first big project, I guess, that I'm really excited about is Superman Legacy, which is said to be a story where you've got, I guess, a young Clark Kent battling with his Kryptonian side and his human side, which is a pretty generic kind of synopsis for any Superman story to an extent. And I'm also really worried that James Gunn is writing it. Granted, he's used All-Star Superman as the promotional artwork, but James Gunn's track record in terms of writing, especially for a DC property, leaves a lot to be desired. His sense of humour is very juvenile. And I think in the confines of Marvel, it works. So yeah, I'm worried that James Gunn is going to be writing and then potentially even directing Superman Legacy, but nevertheless, I'm still cautiously optimistic for what that project gives us as Superman fans. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which is said to be a much more science fiction driven Supergirl story. Next up would be Booster Gold. Booster Gold is a fan favourite, but he's also a favourite of mine. I've loved Booster Gold ever since seeing him in, I guess, Justice League Unlimited. But he was also a great guest star on Smallville. Since then, I read a bunch of Booster Gold comics, 52 Pickup, Blue and Gold, and also the big kind of omnibus of Booster Gold comics from back in the day. James Gunn quite eloquently puts it himself. He's basically a loser in the future, and he uses future tech to go back in time to become a celebrity, essentially. And I really liked in Smallville where he's got like endorsement tags over his costume. I think that was a really cool touch and a bit of a nod to Mystery Men. Another project that I am cautiously optimistic for would be Lanterns. The thing that really turned me off about this was that James Gunn basically said that it's going to be a True Detective with Green Lanterns looking after a terrestrial kind of district or precinct. I think it's a missed opportunity if they do set the whole thing on Earth, but I guess we'll see. Another project that I am also cautiously optimistic for is Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Hopefully that title changes. I'm not really a fan of the title, but it is going to be Batman and Son. So it is going to be based primarily on the Grant Morrison run of Batman. All the Grant Morrison stuff, which was really, really terrific stuff. It's some of the best Batman stories were from that era. So if anything else, it's going to draw attention to the Grant Morrison run of Batman. But I am very nervous of what James Gunn and Peter Safran do with the DC universe. I was a huge fan of the Snyderverse. Zack Snyder, I think, is a terrific filmmaker. I'll never forget what Zack Snyder did for the DC characters. I am willing to give James Gunn the benefit of the doubt because he says that he holds these characters so close to his heart and so near and dear. He's always been a bit of a DC guy. So we'll see. But so far, his DC output has done nothing for me. I appreciate this was all just a bunch of rambling. But if you liked what you saw, please click thumbs up. If you've got something to say, leave a comment down below. And if you want to see more, please hit subscribe. I would love to continue doing videos for the YouTube channel again. So let me know if you want to see more. Also, everyone go and watch The Last of Us, because it's amazing.